create companion products for your books. March into Publishing continues. I'm excited. We've been talking about books all month. Okay, for the entire month of March. I had a wonderful birthday. Thank you. So now let's dig into some things. The reason why I am excited that I've published 19 books is because I am able to give a variety of expertise to people who want to enter the publishing market. So it's not just one way. It's not just fiction. It's not just nonfiction. I have tried multiple ways to publish so that I can give experienced advice and not just theory. Okay, I always love practical instead of theory. So books number 14 and books number 17 were back to my origins. So I always go back to the first book, right? The first book I published was Company Keepers. I was in the arts and it was 371 pages. It was a devotional. I didn't want to put out something that I had seen everyone else do. So I hadn't seen anybody do a 365-day devotional on dance the way they had done it. So I did it. So as I got recruited into publishing, I did several books on publishing and we talked about that. But there was something I had in the arsenal. So this book, Moving Through the Scriptures. And the reason why I bring that up is because I am a person who pushes advancement. But as I was working in that arts industry, I saw a lot of tradition, but not trajectory. Okay, so I was frustrated constantly trying to push people beyond this raggedy approach to doing things into excellence that I announced that I was retired. Like I did it. And for my former page, people know that I did a big announcement and I said I was retiring and all of that stuff. So I had written this book before I retired. And so this book was sitting in my computer for years. And I say that because some of you have things that have been sitting around for years. But the timing mattered. So when I published this book, it was 2020. I decided to publish it because the world shut down. This was right when the world shut down. And I went ahead and I finished editing this book and I formatted it and I got a cover on it and I published it. But here's the thing. It's about 200 pages. There are some books that I create for business, like my publishing books. And then there are books that I create for trainings, entrepreneur, author, speaker, trainer. So this was a book specifically crafted for training. So even though there is a price point on the back of this book and it sells well to this day, it sells very well. People order this book in bulk, everything, like studies, book clubs, everything. I leveraged this book for profit. So what I did was I released this book and then along with it, I had a course that was about $500 per person. Lots of people registered. And so as we were going through the shutdown, I had a class of people that I was teaching for 90 days. They didn't have anything else to do. Their churches had shut down. They weren't dancing, not many of them at that time, or it was very limited access. Remember, that's when everybody was masked up and there was social distancing and only certain people were able to come. So I was able in time to offer this and to take people through this training. And my goal every time I take people through a training is not just to give them information, but activation, right? So I want you to do something with this information. So I presented it as a training and certification program, and I gave them the ability to teach the curriculum. And so I did a couple of iterations of that, but the timing was great, right? So I did that, and then I thought about it. Well, 2 years later, right, I thought about, hey, if I'm teaching this as a subject, why didn't I provide them something to write on? They got their own journals and they have their own paper, but 2 years later, I even revamped the logo, but 2 years later, I did a companion product. So I'm saying this to those of you who write books that are used for training, teaching, study, groups, whatever it is, that it is ideal to have some type of journal that is similar to it, same color, see all of that. That's a companion product. So in this journal that was designed, I made sure that they had, and we can do it better, you know, but I made sure that they had all the scriptures that we were referring to so that they could take notes as we were going through this. And it was only designed as a companion. So I didn't necessarily produce this as a standalone. It was supposed to go with the book. Okay, so I am encouraging you to do companion products if you have these types of books. And companion products can include journals like this one, right? They can include workbooks. So workbooks are a little more engaging than a journal. A journal has some lines on it. You know, I made sure that it was designed, they can write in it. But when you're doing a workbook, it can be a guided workbook where you have specific questions, crosswords, whatever. But you can create a workbook to go along with a book. Now, a workbook can stand alone, but it is great as a companion product. Why? Because you can sell two books instead of one. It's not the same price. The journal is much more inexpensive than the main book would be. All right. You can also do guidebooks. So, as a person who trains authors worldwide, I have constructed the Get Right guidebook. And the guidebook is a little bit different than a workbook because I am guiding them through a process. So it may have timelines in there and action steps and things that we are using as I guide my students or as I guide my clients through the process. It's something that helps them to achieve their goal. That's not just an option. It literally is their guide. Okay. You can also do planners. These are companion products. So if you have a certain type of product that appeals to women in business, you can do a planner that's designed for that, you know, so they can have dates and calendars and checklists and places to put stickers. All of this is achievable depending on who designs that interior and then who you use to manufacture or to produce that book, okay? And then lastly, as companion products, you can do merch. Now, this is the thing that I tell authors. Just because this is the title of your book doesn't mean that needs to be what's on your t-shirt. You care more about your book title than other people will do. So what I would do is put related things, right? So if this is about dance, I would make sure I had a shirt that says I dance or dance with me or dance minister or whatever it is. Those are companion products and merch that is related to it. Even with me, one of the merchandise products that I offer along with books are like bling pens. So people write, they like pens. If I'm appealing to writers, I'm going to create or present or sell pens because that is a companion product. So when you're thinking about how do I increase my bottom line as I am profiting through this, think about corresponding or companion products that go along with the theme of your book, your target demographic, your audience. And that way, people who do not read, they still purchase my pens. They might like a shirt, okay? So think about that. That can be clothing, bags, drinkware. If people have certain types of bottles or mugs that are in season or Stanleys or whatever it is, that you can create seasonal products. It doesn't have to be on your eternal catalog, but you can also create seasonal products and say, when they're sold out, they're sold out. And those are ways to leverage companion products and to increase your bottom line, your vending opportunities, get people to your booth. Even as my booth, I even use magnets, I call them, to magnetize my message, where I'll put a big gold microphone up or some big lights or something, because I want you to come over and see what I have. But it's not just books, because I realize that everybody doesn't want to necessarily purchase a book, but they will take some other companion product that I have that they're able to relate to. So I hope that that got your mind going, your engines running, that you are writing down a list of potential companion products. And I've learned over the years where to go to get things manufactured. You got to pay me for that. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about a book that is very near and dear to my heart. That is Masterful Mentorship, Leadership, Life, and Love Lessons. And I'm going to talk about this book not only in context of you not overachieving, as I am an overachiever, but size. So I want to talk about picking the size for books. And does that matter? Does size matter? Find out tomorrow. Get right. March Into Publishing is March the 29th. If you are in the DFW area, make sure that you join me. And also save March the 31st if you are outside of the DFW area and you're looking for a good time to come down and to explore Dallas. It will be in the city of Dallas. I would love to see you, and I will release that information at the top of next week. Let's go. Stay right.